there.
So where was this at?
This is the dome.
Mama.
It's not in this town though.
Yeah, it's in Helsinki. Yeah.
Oh, this is in Helsinki
That's
as well.
in Helsinki as well.
Okay, I didn't make it to there.
Kaikki hyvin, Mama.
Yeah. Kaikki hyvin, mama.
What does it say?
Kaikki hyvin.
Kaikki hyvin, Mama.
Yeah, that's
That's
right.
Mama. I'll say it like that. Yeah.
That is funny.
Kaikki.
Kaikki.
Kaikki hyvin, Mama.
Hyvin, Mama.
Kaikki hyvin, mama.
Kaikki hyvin, you.
You got it. You're gonna be singing in Finnish now. So this is the album, friends, where he is in front of the train station. Now this is photoshopped. This is not real, but it looks pretty real. There it is right there. And so both of these are photoshopped, and both are finished releases. Incredible.
You want me to turn around this way? Well, I guess I should hold these. Sleeping with the fish. Play with the guitar, maybe? Fish tar? I'll show you.
They're two men, by the way. Two men, male fish.
Male fish.
Oh, God. Oh, my gosh.
Kissing. Of course, that's today, right? Just start singing a song?
Yeah,
Okay. All right, I'm going to change the words up a little bit, the fish scene. Okay. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. As the fish may float surely to the sea, darling, so it goes, some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too.
This is yours?
Fish
Okay.
and
I thought it was ours.
falling in love with you.
That's great.
All right.
The fish. That was my fishing song.
That was a fish. Yeah, that was fishing.
I will show this to you. And I might free to share it.
Yeah.
And I would like to show scale.
Oh, you can get
On a scale of 1 to 10.
1 to 10. Get that out.
They are mine.
I know you together.
I guess that's our tax.
Okay, again, hi everyone. My name is Jani. I work as a local producer here, and I'm sure we have pretty good times ahead of us and 2 excellent gigs. And I hope you enjoy your stay in Oulu, and welcome. Thank you.
Jani, begin. Jani, just for everybody, can you give a brief overview of the next 2 days?
Oh yeah. So today is a day off. We don't have actually anything ahead of us. So enjoy your stay, enjoy the scenery, enjoy the city. And tomorrow we will start with. Of course, we wake up. You wake up, and I wake up in my house, and we have a lunch before we leave for Tornio. We have it at
Breakfast?
breakfast is in the hotel. 7 to 10. We check that in the reception. I think it's 7 to 10. Lunch is at 11.
11.
The restaurant opens at 11. The bus call is 12.
12.
Exactly.
So 12?
12.
We head for Tornio.
We head for Tornio. It's about 2 hours maximum road trip. And when we get there, I have arranged that everything is ready. The stage is ready, the PA is ready, backline is ready, so we can start rehearsing right away.
Oh, nice.
And we have 4 hours at least time to rehearse, and then we have a dinner there at 6:30 p.m. and the doors will open for VIP guests at 7, and we have that short interview talking with 7:30, and the doors for the public will open at 8, and the show time is at 9 o'clock.
Oh, nice.
And
How many tickets have been sold for the first night?
I'm sure 200 or 300 by now. It's okay. Yeah. We have yeah. And when the show is over, we just pack everything up and head back to Oulu.
It will be around midnight.
It will be around midnight,
at
yeah.
the hotel at 2 a.m.
Yeah, around. And on Saturday, our technicians will arrive around 2 or 3, and we set the stage up in the hotel. And you guys just have to wait until we are ready, and we can start checking around 5 or 6. 5 or 6. I have ordered dinner in the backstage at 5, so I thought we could eat and have a dinner, and after that we could make a sound check.
Yes.
And the lunch is also in the hotel, it's all arranged. Yeah. And the final bus call back to...
Oh yeah, before that, the concert at the hotel, how many tickets have you sold there?
The 300.
Also,
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
What time is that show start? 9 o'clock also?
Also, also. Also. The same schedule. At 7 we open the doors for the VIP and the show. Actually, we have sold some show and dinner packages for those people, so they come to the hotel and have their dinner, and we have that interview again there.
And then we have on the day after that, we are leaving at 4:30.
4:30, yeah. The bus call is 4:30, and the plane will leave 5:30, I guess.
I was thinking if it's possible, it's not a must, but usually with hotels it can be arranged that when we leave early, that they sometimes give us breakfast packages.
Yeah. It's a quality hotel, and I think they can do that. We can ask at the reception.
Great.
Yeah. It's a good point.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you want to have a really good reindeer for dinner, then that's your place, the Flying Reindeer Restaurant.
Reindeer?
Yeah. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Rudolph. You can get Rudolph right there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So what year is it?
That's about 68, 67. Maybe as early as 66, because Henry was young, but still.
Maybe before singing it up.
Oh yeah. Not too long before.
Yeah, I got it.
Because he really liked the jigs.
Shake hands. Sí, es de los restaurant. Jake Haskins, he would sing without it. He was with singing.
He was not with us.
No, okay, I got it.
He sang on the How Great You Are album.
We did a studio, like a couple of studio albums.
Kyllä, kun aurinko paistaa, niin ne ensimmäiset hakkeutuu.
From what I understand, when I was recorded on How Great You Are, he asked specifically for Jake Hess, because Jake Hess was a huge inspiration for him.
But Jake is in the Elvis recording, you mean?
Yes, on the album.
How Great You Are? The album, yeah? Okay. And what's
That group right there is on
this for? You were this for? But the piano player, he was with you?
he was with us.
Was that Henry's fault?
That's Henry. Yeah, Henry's fault. I'm not sure if he played on it.
Ja vaan siihen, kyllä siihen saa etten yksikin aikaa markkeja. Se on milläkin vehkeä.
Herman Morales? Herman Morales. Gary Smith. And Kev, Jim Martin, Henry's Lauren.
Radisson too.
And I like
Oh yeah. I have that in my office.
So friends, in order for your lights to work here, you have to take your key card. If you watch, I'm gonna stick the key card in and it'll make the lights come on. You see that light come on? So now you can do this and make the lights. It's got lights all over. So every time you click these things, it does different things. It's gonna be hard to get all the lights off. You see there's red mood lighting up in there. There's crazy lights here. Wow, I don't know how to cut them all off. Another thing that they have this at the other hotel too. You see how even though it's one bed, there's two different things here and there's pieces to it. It looks like a pillowcase and it's got this stuffing inside of it. So you kind of can slide down in it. Interesting. And here we have a desk. They have a bottle of wine in here for 19.95 lira, which is about $25 US roughly. And right out here you can see that it is snowing. I'm on the 4th floor, or it has snowed, and you can see that the water out there still has ice all over it. So clearly I'm going to be exploring. So I'll walk down there and look around. Stay tuned. This is Oulu, O-U-L-U, Finland, North Finland. There's these crazy switches beside your bed. I don't know how to turn the lights off though. There it is. So maybe that's everything off. No, there's some lights over there on. So I'm gonna try to turn them off from here. There they go. So I've got every light off but that one over there now. I don't know how to turn it off. Something interesting is whenever you hit these, you hear relays click. And that is in this little box right here. It's like a breaker box in the room. And see, those don't look like they're on. And they're all 16 amp. So you see how it says 40 amp? I don't even see a marking on that. So I would assume that's a relay of some sort. So these sound like relays. That's 40 amp. What I've been told, and I've never dealt with electricity in Europe, but I dealt with manufacturing hot tubs that we ship to Europe. And what they say is the most that you can do on a single circuit is 16 amps. So I think this means that this relay will handle 40 amps. It doesn't mean that that circuit is 40. So I think each single circuit is 16 amps only. So a hot tub can only be 32 amps at the most at 230 volts at, single phase 240. But these are relays and things sit different ways. So when you click these lights on and off, you'll hear it click in that box. Just another little oddity, that and having to put your key in to make the lights work. That's so European. In the elevator it has this. So let's go see that. I can see it right across the way. That's where we're headed. That was in the elevator. Really quite muddy. Do you notice? Not a word from a soul. Nobody's saying anything. There's nobody yelling, talking loud. I don't know what this thing is. I'm trying to figure it out. Looks like a lighthouse, but it's a good ways from the water. There's something written on the door, but it is in Finnish, I'm afraid. And sadly for both of us, I don't read Finnish. Avoina, Jelin, Vapuna. I don't know what any of that means, friends. I do know this means don't turn left. A lot of bicycles. So we clearly cannot go up in there. Let's see if there's any English right here. The answer is no. It does say something about 1960. Somebody lost a cleat to a bicycle. So let's go down here and see what's up. Look at those crazy street signs. Very muddy here. I guess after the snow, it puts mud all over everything. That's the hotel I'm staying in right there. The Radisson Blue. The water level is really low. You can actually see the bottom. You can see rocks. So I don't know if they're in a drought or what's going on, but the water level is very, very low. You can see where it normally is on those piers of that bridge, about 2 feet higher than it is right now. And notice the streets are cobblestone. It's paved there, but it's cobblestone when you get to the intersections. It says it's okay to cross, so I'm going to get me a bicycle. That seems to be the way around here. So, what is this sign saying? Don't ride bikes with your kids? That's what it looks like it's saying to me. Yeah, I believe it's saying walk your kids around, don't ride them on a bicycle. There's a lot of kids in the signs around here, I've noticed. Here's another one over here. It's got a kid in the sign. That looks Greek. I know it's Finnish, but it looks Greek. And I think this is saying that if you walk across this street, do it like you were a beetle. That's what that means. Do it like you're a bale. The bales. All right, I'm gonna do it like I'm a bale. Oh, it's saying not to walk now. I wonder if that was good enough. Not much concrete around that's not attached to a building, I've noticed. Let's go see who this is. Franz Michael Franzen. Franz Michael Franzen. So I'm assuming that's he's got a cross. So is he a Catholic pastor or Catholic minister? I didn't know. I'll have to look it up. Let's go check this church out. This church has a cross, a clock tower, and a dome. A little bit of everything. This thing has a constant tone. Slow when it's no walk, fast when it walks. You can see this clock tower from all over town. Let's go see what this is about. Somebody's made a paper airplane. Didn't fly too far. They could have made it on the other side of town though, I guess. See, no concrete. With rocks. And this is the Oulu Cathedral. And the door is open. Wonder if it's okay to go in. This place, look at this giant bell. (1918). So this church is 100 years old right now. And I clearly cannot read any of this. Look at those doors. These things have doors. This is old school. What's this sand for? It's women. This is men. Crazy light switches. I guess that's the bell from the clock tower, the bell tower. Look at this. That's seriously old school right there, friends. This crazy ladder they have on the outside of the church. This is criminal. Huh. I think this is a typical downtown intersection. Oulu, Finland. So let's go across the street. We get really close to you here. Vehicles and bicycles. Cobblestone sidewalks. One of the things, friends, is they have a thing called frost heaving, and that may be why there's not much concrete, because when it freezes it'll actually heave the ground up, and I bet these are not as susceptible, so that's why they don't pour much concrete. They have to go really deep in the ground to keep it from heaving. I don't know what that thing there is. Water coming right through the middle of town. You see it goes over there, there's bridges. They call this the land of 1,000 lakes. Much like they call, was it Minnesota? I think is the land of 1,000 lakes. This dude's driving where people are walking. Can he do that? Oh, he's about to go into this hotel parking. These bicycles are parked in the way. And he's not even blowing the horn. This is a parking garage. So he actually parks inside there. I thought when he was pulling up he was doing something crazy. That's how he does it. car went right behind him. This is a mall. This is a phone kiosk. It's an old truck. A lot of young ladies wearing heart-shaped sunglasses. This guy's playing in the Sweet By and By in Finland. He just laid us down. I can't think of what the darn thing's called. Squeeze box down. European carry-all, friends. Immerse. This is a supermarket. You go in and you go through, but you can't come out that way. You have to go through the other side of it. I believe this is Target. I don't go to Target generally. I'm not sure what it looks like. Tukmani, Target. Huh. See Disney stuff in there. You know what? This is that thing like IKEA, where it makes you walk through the whole store to get out. Real organized, just kind of thrown around. So friends, Target is indeed like IKEA. You go in that way, you go all the way around, cash register over there, and you come out here. So that guy just took a break. That was a long time ago. You know what? I have a coin here. Yes, indeed. This barber company is for all mankind. Still Otis. just like in America. Tons of bicycles, friends, and even some skateboards. Oulu, Finland. Helsinki. Really here. This place is expensive, friends. They have actually moving things in the windows here, friends. Karaoke bar right there. And I'm heading, we are eating Mexican. We had Chinese last night, or it wasn't Chinese, I'm telling you wrong. It was Thai. It's a candy store. Tonight we're having Finnish Mexican. Pancho Villa. And that takes you underground where the cars are parked. So we're going right here. Look at this little vehicle. 1972. That's a Vespa. That is very cool. It has finally hit me why every place you go to has this at the doorstep and like this, because there's so many rocks and stuff around. If they didn't, it would track the place full. There's a lot of places that have grates before you walk in. It's a little Mexican food in Finland. Sombrero lamps and everything. There's another seat down here, Bob.
Yeah, but then he's crying. It's his soul. It's like it's so good. He could really pull that off. Yeah, those big shoulders right there. And all of the drum licks, you know, every move, Ronnie. At that time, Ronnie was. And you did too. Every one of his licks, his moves.
You were just watching him, right?
Yeah. Right on.
Every second.
You'd have to. I mean,
Never knew.
never knew what he was going to do. Because some people said that Ronnie Tutt, you know, he was sensitive to Elvis, you know, rushing those songs, and that's also why some of those songs ended up, you know, being like breakneck speed.
Yes.
But some people have commented that you were better at keeping the groove.
Yeah.
How did you experience
Pocket player, it's important.
How did you experience it at the time? Was Elvis also trying to rush you?
Well, he did have a tendency to be up on the time, so you had to constantly try to pull back on the time. In fact, I do that in The Wonder of You, because there's the first part of The Wonder of You, he started way up on top of the time, and there's a point in The Wonder of You where I pull back, you know. And if I do say so myself, it made the finish a lot stronger because we had somewhere to go. Because that has a tendency to be on top of the time as well. So, anyway.
I tell you, I'd much rather like to hear the version of Proud Mary, Walk a Mile that Bob's playing on.
Polk salad.
Polk salad, all this, man. I mean,
Actually,
I love Ronnie, but
every single song where we have both Ronnie and Bob Lenning playing, every time I prefer the Bob Lenning version.
it's
Don't
big.
misunderstand me. I appreciate Ronnie Todd.
Right.
I think he's a wonderful player.
It's apples
It's
and
also
oranges,
a combination of the, but that on stage album to me is the best live album of the 70s. When you listen to CC Rider, Walk a Mile in My Shoes, The Wonder of You, Let It Be Me, it's a fantastic album. And the groove is right on the pocket. And songs like Proud Mary, they just sound better that way.
I agree.
Yeah.
That Elvis 1970 album, the On Stage 1970, that's, I love it.
Do you know that they actually cheated with 2 songs?
Really?
There's 2 songs where they cheated. Because it's called On Stage February 1970. But the thing is, at that time, they didn't have enough songs. They had only 8. So what Felton Jarvis did is he took 2 songs from August 1969 and added them to the album.
Which ones?
It's Runaway, and what was the other one?
Did you ever play Runaway with Elvis?
She played 69 session, right?
I think so, yeah.
Because that would have been during your time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the other one is Yesterday.
Oh, yes, and Hey Jude? Or?
Yeah, but Hey Jude, he would tag that at the end of the song, but they took it out of that version.
Yeah.
Wise choice, probably.
Yeah.
Because for live shows it must have been great, but when you listen to recordings of it, it doesn't sound so
repetitive,
good.
On what doesn't sound good?
On Yesterday, Hey Jude.
Yeah, Hey Jude. I heard it the other day. It's the first time. I thought it was horrible.
Yeah,
It's
the
studio.
It's bad.
Even from the first note, the Hey Jude, you know, it's like, why would they have kept that in there?
It wasn't the right song for him. You know, he can sing almost anything, but there's just something about that. That's one of the first times I heard something that went, Elvis didn't do a
That's
good job on
basically
that.
an outtake from the Memphis 69 sessions. The thing is, what RCA did at the time is they paid Felton Jarvis per master. He got $750 per master, which in 1970 money was a lot of money. So he had an interest in giving RCA as many masters as possible. And when you look at some of the albums, Elvis didn't know what was on them.
Right.
And when you look at some of the recordings, they're rejects. Those are not finished masters.
Right.
And Hey Jude is one of them. It's actually, garbage.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they were supposed to record Hey Jude at the American Sound Studio session, right?
Well, they did.
They did.
It's from the American.
But that got scrapped.
Yeah, but it's an outtake. Because Elvis never really finished it.
Right.
But then they've.
So that version is out as well.
That's out.
The American Sound Studio.
Yes,
it's got to be
out there.
better than the other one, the RCA version.
No, it's not bad.
It's not.
Bad.
It's just not the right song.
No, it's not the right song. It's not. I think it's not the right song for Elvis. And when you're going to do the Beatles, you really have to come up with something original because their versions are so definitive of their own songs.
Right.
And as much as I'm an Elvis fan, I think he never really contributed to any Beatles songs. He should have left them alone.
I agree.
Also, Something, I kind of like his version, but I think, the
Which
original
one? Something in the Way She Moves.
Something in the Way She Moves.
Yeah.
I think that Elvis version is good.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Kathy Westmoreland doing that.
Maybe, yesterday doesn't give anything extra.
No, I think the
they would've
Beatles
given
version.
James
There's
a
some
solo
songs
on
that
that.
are just that's it. That's the song.
Yeah.
But the Beatles couldn't do an Elvis song justice.
But it also goes
Inversely,
It also goes. It's. I think it's mostly with the Beatles songs because there's other cover versions, where I think he did a great job. As much as I like the original version of My Way, let's say the Frank Sinatra version, which is probably the definitive one. Well, I think Elvis made it his own.
Oh, I agree.
I think he did a great job.
Well, I mean, he made
I think that was his version was really good.
I like the tempo change at the end, yeah.
There's something about the way he even says he's reading it the first time, doesn't he?
Yeah, but I think he was playing on that.
Was he?
It was a gimmick, because he knew the lyrics.
Yeah.
You think that's 77?
He was kind of playing, or in
Yeah,
Aloha.
he was pretending. I think he was kind of pretending that they were improvising it.
Bobby
But, you know,
Ogden said that.
Yeah.
In the interview, he says that he's reading, but he said that's his shtick. He's
Yeah.
doing that just as part of the show.
Sure.
If he
He's
makes
not
a mistake,
really.
then
Yeah.
it's because he didn't. I mean,
Yeah.
didn't know it that well.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's a song
He
that
made up words a lot.
Yeah.
He really
Yeah.
did.
But you know, he didn't make it his own right from the get-go, because he actually tried it out in the studio in 1971, and that version, it just for whatever reason, it never worked at all. I think they released it in 1995
Yeah,
on the
that's a
70s
weird
Masters
version,
box.
yeah.
It's a weird box. It's pretty a version. It's pretty low key.
Yeah.
But then they did it for Aloha, and that was much better.
Yeah.
You know, the version with the violin is really nice. But I think,
Every song in the Aloha thing was just
yeah.
out of this world, all of it. It
Yeah,
was
but
just-
you know, as for My Way, I think in 1977, that last special, I think he really went to town with My Way. I think that version is just excellent.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. He really makes it come to life.
Yeah.
You know, he sings, he knows the lyrics
Yeah.
because he lived them.
Some things take time.
Yes.
You know, you play a song and you play a song and you play a song, and for him, most of it was magic instantly, I think. But there was things that weren't, you know, and it took time. It's the same way when you're writing a song. You know, a lot of times the version that's on the record is not the version you hear live because they've learned how to play it better. You know.
And sometimes you need to be 40 or 50 to sing some specific songs.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
you cannot sing My Way properly if you're 19.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
There's no way
That's a good
to
point.
do it.
Same thing with Teddy Bear. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
And you can't do it without actually physically having a
Hound
teddy
Dog.
bear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
I mean, those songs that really, you know,
They're deep, profound,
deep ones.
and come out of experiences of life. Hound Dog.
Hound Dog. I mean, what else? No Room to Rumba in a Sports Car.
there's this UK comedian, Vivian Stansall. He did a cover version of it, and it's a comedy version.
Of No Room to Rumba?
Yeah,
Really?
and it's a classic. It's really something else, and it's so funny. And he even combines it a little with Polk Saladani. It's really
Really?
weird. Yeah, I'll have to play that one
Yeah.
for you tonight. Yeah.
Do you do the grinds, the pom pom? You do.
Well, you know, in this show, I just kind of do whatever, because this show isn't it's not like an Elvis impersonator show.
Right,
We're
yeah.
doing
It's
focus.
almost hard not to do it without.
Yeah, but it is,
so
because
in
I'm
your
in the
mind,
States,
yeah.
I'm so, I'm doing all that. But I mean, I dance around and
I
stuff.
think we should tell everybody now. I think we should tell Jim. This is not an Elvis tribute.
Oh, I know.
We're
that.
doing a tribute to Tiny Tim.
Yeah.
We changed our minds.
I mean, we're doing the Elvis songs in style.
I met Tiny Tim.
You did?
I did.
Was he really tiny? Was he?
In a little. He's actually.
He's a tall guy. And Miss Vicky.
Yeah, Miss
Yeah.
Vicky. I met him in a phone booth in LaGrange, North Carolina.
That was
A town
awkward.
with one stoplight, and my granddaddy had told me that Tiny Tim was going to be in this town, and he was a huge Tiny Tim fan. So I said, on the way by, I'll drive. I'd never been in the town before. I said, I'll drive in there and see if I can find him. I drive to the only stoplight and stop, and he's in a phone booth talking on the phone at that intersection. I see Tiny Tim at the phone booth, so I stop and wait for him to come out of the phone booth. And I don't know who he was talking to.
When was
but
that?
That would have been 1984, 5, somewhere along in there. And he had really greasy long, and I mean greasy long hair, just almost like dreadlock type hair. And he wouldn't look at me straight in the eyes. I'd talk to him and he'd kind of look away and he'd spin around, and I had to follow him and talk to him because the whole time I'm talking to him, he's walking away from me. And
He was kind of a
He's-
weird character.
yeah, and I asked him, my granddaddy had a huge record collection. Who was it here that was talking about their record collection? Oh, it was you, that's your dad. My granddad had a huge 20,000 records. He had 20,000 78s.
Yeah, right.
And so he collected records. And what he wanted to know was he knew Tiny Tim collected records. And he wanted to know what record Tiny Tim would like to have, and he wanted the Aaron Burr record. So my granddad dug through his collection and took an Aaron Burr record to him. He was singing with the circus. There was a circus that came to town, and he was singing with his ukulele, singing for the circus. And my granddad took his cassette tape recorder, you remember that little cassette, and got him to sing songs for him. And he gave him the Aaron Burr record in exchange for that.
Oh,
And but it all got set up for me seeing him at the phone booth and telling him, and telling my granddad, so he went that night. And I got his autograph somewhere, but I wish I had a camera, because it's so crazy that you would, if I'd have videoed it, it would have been an incredible video.
Yeah.
You know, that you see him in a phone booth I mean, when I say country, guys, I'm talking about a town with one stoplight. In the middle of nowhere. And there he is in a phone booth. It was crazy.
The Tonight Show and the wedding.
Oh, yeah. Tonight Show was late 60s, 69 or 68, I think. He married Miss Vicky on the Tonight Show. I believe it was 68.
Elvis knew about him. He would sometimes, parody him, You can see it in 68 Comeback, where he does, tiptoe through the tape.
It was quite famous. It was somebody that I knew as a kid.
Have you heard his version of Great Balls of Fire?
Oh my gosh.
I'm not sure if you want to.
It's that bad.
It's different. It's not Cherry Lee Lewis, let's just put it that way. It's different.
It's funny.
But it's interesting for sure.
Charlie Hodge.
That's a story. Well, I interviewed Charlie Hodge about 2 years before he died. I think there was. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you. And
take your plates?
yes, you can. Yes, you can. Thank you. Thank you so much for the foods.
Thank you.
But Charlie Hodge told me this story that this was in like 1959. It must have been that they were in Paris, and Elvis enjoyed Paris, and they got this taxi driver. I don't know how much they gave him to just drive circles around the Arc de Triomphe. And he said, he and Elvis, they would be just singing songs, the whole night, I Will Be Home and all of that. That comes from that night out in Paris. So they had a great time.
That taxi driver.
Yeah, this guy, that will be something. That will be something. And it probably happened. And also the story about the Moulin Rouge girls, it's Elvis was having a great time. And I think Paris was the closest he came in Europe, to get this really big city vibe. And of course, if you're in Paris, it's a very impressive city. You have the Eiffel Tower. It's magnificent. The Arc de Triomphe, the architecture. It has this kind of mundane feeling that Germany just didn't have at the time, because. I think Elvis, in a way, felt a bit dislocated in Germany, because you Americans, even in the 50s, were used to getting food at all hours, getting hamburgers and this and that. But in Europe at the time, it was a pretty bleak place. I mean, getting a burger or a pizza in Germany in 1959, forget it. All Elvis could get, the closest he could get was the Wiener Schnitzels. That was it. So it was difficult for him to, feel at home. And I think combined with the loss of his mom, I think it was a difficult period for him. And, not being an entertainer, just, he was at the height of his career. And they shipped him off to Germany. And I think he was truly concerned whether he would still have a career when he came back. And when you read the stuff that he talked about during that period, he was really afraid that the people would forget him.
And that's a real concern.
Yeah.
He didn't
2
know
years.
that he was Elvis.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it that way, but we know that he was Elvis, but he never knew.
He never knew. That was an ongoing career, and in the 50s he was often called, a fly in a pan, or people thought rock and roll would be over in a few months. So that was the perspective at the time. It's only now that we can say, well, rock and roll, lasted. We're still talking about it, and the guy's been dead for 40 years, and he's still, people still love him.
Still relevant.
But that's the perspective from that time was different, very different. Elvis didn't know he had a career. So Actually, he did some recording in Germany because Colonel Parker said, you know, maybe it's a good idea if we can release an EP or something, just you and a guitar or something. They did try out a few recordings, but they were technically, you know, very poor. Some of this stuff came out later on RCA, well, that's BMG, Sony, on some of those private recordings. They're actually pretty nice to listen to.